Creed 2 is the 8th film in the Rocky franchise and the second chronicling the story of Adonis Creed, son of Apollo Creed. And in this film, Adonis is challenged by Victor Drago, the son of Ivan Drago, the man who killed Adonis Creed's father. Did Creed 2 capitalize and improve on the success of Creed 1, or did it fall more flat than Rocky Balboa? Let's find out. I've actually never seen Rocky Balboa, so that was just a little disingenuous. Oh well.
I pray for y'all, you know the tables turn. I buy a tablecloth, I got it off the ground, and now it's straight to Mars. Shout out to the pilots that died taking off.
I guess I'm a little late reviewing this film, but I've seen it twice now, so I'm just gonna do it anyway. 3 years ago when Creed came out, I hadn't seen any of the Rocky films, so I went into Creed knowing very little about the Rocky franchise, and I thought it was one of the greatest movies I'd seen in my entire life. Since then, I've seen the first 4 Rocky movies, so needless to say, when Creed 2 was announced, I was very excited. I was a little apprehensive going into Creed 2 because part of what made the first Creed so great was the director Ryan Coogler. And with him not returning, I was a little worried, but Stephen Caple Jr. laid those worries to rest. He did an incredible job directing this film, and I am very excited to see where he goes from here and what he works on next. The acting in this film was phenomenal, but I didn't really expect less than that from these actors and actresses. Michael B. Jordan killed it as always. I mean, honestly, he's just good in everything. Tessa Thompson did an incredible job as well and is quickly becoming one of my favorite actresses. She is great in everything she's in. Sylvester Stallone did a great job as Rocky Balboa once again. He knows this character so well by now and is so natural and good at playing it that it's always a pleasure to see him give us another performance as Rocky. Now, Dolph Lundgren as Ivan Drago. I didn't really know what to expect from him going into this film, but he gave a really good performance. And that leads me into what was probably my favorite part of this film, the antagonist. Now, this has probably been said a multitude of times by this point, but this film did something that no other Rocky film had ever done, and that's humanize its villains. In past Rocky films, the antagonist's only goal was to beat Rocky in a fight, and their main motivation behind it being because fighting. But that wasn't the case in this movie. Sure, Ivan and Victor's main goal was a boxing match, and the movie did hit those basic story notes it needed to get there. But their reasoning behind wanting the fight wasn't as surface level as just wanting to crush Rocky. This movie really made you understand them and did a really good job bringing them down to earth. And of course, there were a few moments of just pure mustache-twirling villainy to make you root against them, but that's to be expected in a movie like this. The movie did just enough to humanize the villains so their motives would be clear and intriguing, and just enough to make you root against them in the final fight. The choreography of the fights in this film was wonderful. None of the fights were quite as intriguing as the one-take fight from the first Creed, but it's going to take a lot to top that, and the choreography and the fight scenes were great anyway, so it's no reason to take points away from this film. This film did a really good job with understanding its characters and their stories. Now, it probably won't be, but I really feel like this should be the last film in the Rocky franchise. I really think the characters' arcs are over, and there's nowhere else that their stories and characters can go from here naturally without it feeling contrived and goofy like later Rocky films. That is, unless my man Clubber Lang comes out of retirement and puts Adonis Creed in his place. But in all seriousness, I feel like the story of Rocky Balboa and Adonis Creed is over, and this movie would be the perfect swan song for both of them. In the end, I think Creed 2 was a great film, and if you like the first Creed, you'll like this movie too, and if you like the original Rocky films, then you'll enjoy this movie as well. I would give Creed 2 an 8 out of 10. There's a subscribe button. Do as you will. Thank you.